Good morning, good afternoon, good evening everybody. Thanks a lot for joining us. We're here and we're live on a wee cheeky Monday night, and quite frankly I had no idea what to do for like the theme, the agenda, however you want to think of it as. So I just thought, hey, why not? Anything goes. Let's just do whatever we do. Let's see how long we run for. Let's see what we get up to. I'm up for it. I'm sure you guys are as well. It's a Monday night. It feels like it's a big week kind of in the offing. I've just recorded a bunch of videos as well. We'll probably flip one of them live when we're done tonight as well. And there's tons of action coming at you from all directions, whether it be in the real world of football. Transfer market stuff is just starting to pop off. SO5 fantasy football, SO7 fantasy football, maybe a wee bit of MFL. We're still flying high in the cup with FC BarcaLomond. We've got the community team for you guys as well. That is literally too much, so much happening here. Thanks everyone joining us tonight. Fist bumps on arrival, of course. And later this week we will have a few more bits and bobs, especially coming out for the members, and we might even tease a little bit of that as we're live and loud tonight. Let it be known where you're at and what you're up to, and if you're a member, of course, if you've got your season ticket, feel free to drop any requests if anything we can do, and we'll try our best to have a bit of fun with it, roll with the punches and all that good stuff. We have one straight away in the chat, getting in nice and early, James Johnson. And by the way, good bit of advice right now for any of you guys out there, especially ones that like gallery reviews or, you know, like to enter competitions, that sort of thing. YouTube have seemed to have done something where everyone's username is now a handle. Obviously running a channel, something I've kind of sorted out long ago. But if you do get the chance to go into your settings and fix your handle, a good idea for when you're in content giveaway situations is having your findable name on Sorare or MFL or whatever it might be the same as your YouTube handle. So if you have to select one and you're stuck for choice, simple suggestion from myself. Villa pulling the PSR tricks today of selling the women's team. Oh, old gem. That old gem, the Chelsea move. The Chelsea move. And it's funny how they're getting away with it, Because, do you know what I find funny about this? And you guys know me, I don't like to get too much into the bloody books and the balance sheets and all that caper. Headline news will do for me on that front. But when it comes to like the Man City stuff, every other team loves to say about the charges and all that, and everyone else basically has got some sort of dirt on their hands, don't they? No one's immune. The Premier League is the pinnacle of capitalism in a lot of ways. It's the pinnacle of football, of course, and but the way sponsors, the amount of money, the reach of it, the impact of it, the intensity of the players, the history of the clubs, the support from the terraces, like the whole thing is just the absolute peak of so many of those types of elements or whatever. And Villa, Chelsea, selling their women's team to their umbrella company, essentially, or whatever they're doing, is just absolute peak financial jiggery-pokery, as it were. Service crew, good to see you. Liam Peverley as well, of course, Mikey Basson and James Johnson in there with the early request. A lot of you guys jumping in live and loud. Please do hit the like button, just lets YouTube know we're having fun, we're having a good time. And we've got James Johnson with a request. I'm eager to get stuck into that. We want to look at some under 23 players for next season, which, check the next video I've got dropping out. It's something I've actually been doing, but by accident. I've not really been looking at U23 as such, but there's a lot of young blood. Don't spoil anything, don't go and, just wait for the video to come out. But before we get stuck into that stuff, I did want to just kind of bask in the glory of it. We won a game in the cup. We won our last 16 game against Gaffer Lewis, which is Black Ops LR to me and you most of the time. It was well scouted. The 4-2-2-2, so the Red Bull system is one that he favours. He does have another one, but this was the one he was most likely to come out with. And we kind of flipped the script on him a little bit. We know Lewis knows the team, knows the channel and all that. So I went, especially being away from home as well, I just wanted a more solid base in midfield and just give ourselves a chance when we turn the ball over to go and get at them. Big Jerry Herbst played an absolute blinder in this game. The 68 physical did worry me, but the 82 defence, the passing at 79, pace and dribbling being in the 70s as well is lovely. And alongside Albert Cuckoo, who also has 80 defence as well as 81 passing. Again, the physical's a little bit of a worry, but that's recently just went up, which is nice to see just now. And then passing and pace and dribbling, shooting, all that really quite good as well. With someone like Vandy, who has a little bit more physical than the other guys, but is a bit more focused on shooting, 75, 85 passing. Felt that combo of three mids against this 2 CDMs and 2 cams would work really well. All of them should be quite combative, should be good when they win the ball over, and with the right instructions, we should have been creating chances for our wingers. They scored with a guy called In Goal, which I just thought was very poetic at the very beginning of the match, as you can see here, and I was like, oh, we fucked it. We're not going to go through in the cup. I could just feel it already. It was going to be one of those games. We've seen how the engine on Season 6 has kind of panned out, where, look at that, by the way. I did watch the replay of it, because I thought, is that a glitch? How it smashed off the inside of the bar, or the post. It feels a little bit glitchy. I'm not complaining, we're not going to, but it's a wonderful hit, nice graphic and all that, but it did look to me like, did it glitch in, or did it hit off the post? I don't know. It took all the way to the second half, and Nasser gets a free Nasser, this was brilliant, by the way. I'm just clicking just before it, I'll just talk, but this was a great example of play that's got me so hyped up for just the rest of the match or whatever, because you'll see here, I think this is it, we get some nice build-up play, and some of the sequences, the nice little passing moves that the team have all made with each other here to create a good chance. We get fouled at the edge of the box, and Nasser just steps up, and they're just like, oh, go on, wee man. 56th minute, just after half-time, team talk, boom! Made me, I was buzzing. Nice team play, and then the boy Livingston wins the free kick on the edge of the box. They get a man sent off before the game's finished as well. I forget if this was a second yellow or whatever, but wipes somebody out, if memory serves me right. Nah, it doesn't look that bad actually, but you can tell he's done something. And we had to go to extra time. And again, I was biting my nails. Made me really happy that I rotated the squad the way I did, and that I went with the people that I went with, because I had no doubt that the players I had in midfield were going to do the damage, and it was just about getting one of these chances. I was watching the extended highlights of this game, and Klein was, he was not quite getting the end product off, and for him to score the goal, like, nobody was watching it with me. I was a wee bit disappointed at that moment that I wasn't live with you guys, but I'd been on his case in some other highlights, and he came up trumps there to get the win. Very hard fought, and I think Dun MFC in the Quinny Invitational was one of the strongest teams in that competition. Went very far in it, if not maybe won it. I can't remember. So when I got this draw, we knew it was going to be a tough game, and I did plan. I think I did have the intention to stream it, but because it was a cup game, it kicked off way earlier than my league matches did, and I didn't really factor that into my plans. Ended up down the lock with the kids and the missus and all that, and I wasn't even running home early to watch this early. I'm sorry. And I thought maybe you guys would have missed it, and I was knackered after the beach and stuff like that. Anyway, it was a hot day, but yeah, buzzing with the result, and we're right on track now with the main team to earn more than we did last year, despite not loaning everyone out. And we got some really good contracts last year, but we need to maintain pace. We lost a game in the league before that cup game, but Bankers Geneve drew, so the way things went, it just meant we're a clean 3 points ahead. We could have extended the lead there at the top, but it wasn't to be. We're playing Den Haag tonight, and then I've got the next round of the cup against Sintra Lynx. Now, this team is actually the division above me, but I don't think they're doing that great. I've clicked on the manager, sorry, there, rather than the club. I beg your pardon. And I've scouted them. I kind of know what they're going to be doing shape-wise as well, and I've got a real quandary on what I do with my shape around that. I've got a few. I'm not going to go too much into that tonight. We'll maybe talk about it tomorrow. Maybe do a live for it or something. I don't know, because it is earlier. It's like 5:20 or whatever. So yeah, we'll see maybe closer to the time. But I've genuinely got 3 different options that I am completely split on for doing. He's played Budapest MFC, which is a team that I've played before in the cup, and they were very strong. He's also got Doge Sports in his league here, who's doing very well this year, I'm pleased to see. And this guy's not doing that great, so he shouldn't be that much different to me. Looking at his player ratings, they're not wildly different to mine. I'm at the top of the division below him, and he's at the bottom of his division. For context, for anyone that's not playing this kind of Football Manager online kind of network game, as it were. Squad is very thin, but he's rotated them well enough. He's not got any real issues on fitness and stuff like that coming into it, but as you can see the kind of overview ratings there. One guy suspended, but that won't affect our match. But yeah, maybe the fitness goes down a little bit. Maybe. Who knows? But yeah, quite a fun squad. So we're looking forward to that, which is a good crack. And Nigel Shaw, good to see you. Pantep as well, my man. Yeah, it's the same sort of idea. It is completely different in how it works from everything that I've heard from the people that play Football and whatever. But yeah, it's basically Football Manager Online, essentially. Um, a nice little element to this is you own the players, you own the clubs and the players in different ways. I think it's just a bit more ingenious how they do it. You don't need to actually buy anyone. You can just loan all the players in if you own a club. Some really nice tactics and some really nice different strategies you can play with it. All the beginner content to it is linked in the description of the stream. So just below the video, if you click the little more button, it expands the description out. If you're interested and you want more info, feel free to go and explore that little rabbit hole. So many of my players are transferring, losing track of them. Though good to see Osipenko take 8 minutes to score in the debut for Dinamo. Nice. That's a good move for Osipenko going to Dinamo. One of the bigger teams. Lobs Gaming, good to see you. And I got a big bit of deja vu. I was listening to Harry live yesterday. I think it was his first stream in his new place. Check it out if you have not done so. It's a nice kind of Harry's back live again. I quite enjoyed listening to it. But he started going through the transfers on FootMob, and that's normally our game. And I thought, I've not done that yet this year. So we normally do that kind of end of month. Well, we've done it in previous transfer windows anyway. Where our end of week, we were doing end of week in the January window, I think, weren't we? In the summer, I think we do end of month, and we just try and catch all these Sorare moves that are quite cheeky or quite good. And yeah, when I seen Harry doing that, I was like, oh yeah, I normally do that. So we'll get back to doing that soon. No problem, mate. I hope you enjoy it. But yeah, so looking forward to my games tonight. We've got the foundation team here, right? So anyone who's got their season ticket has been loaning me a player in, and their player can be really crap, then they're maybe only going to appear once or whatever this season. But I give away all the money, all the in-game currency that this team wins to the channel members. I don't take any of it. It's quite a high division as well as far as beginning goes. This is at Stone, so it's a few levels up, and it's a good way just to get some in-game currency into the pockets of you guys that support me on the channel here. So we scouted this team, we had a hostile takeover, we saved them in Stone last year through tactics and nous. This year we've composed the team fully of your MFL players, and as you can see, some of them are really beautiful players. They've been a joy to have. We've seen lots of progression for them. Some of them have been really fun and useful to have, and some of them are really far too crap for this level. Excuse the expression, I just couldn't think of anything nicer to say. But all the same, they will get paid out, they will earn cash for the members as well. So hopefully including a little bit more of that and a bit more MFL content and the season ticket, the membership on the channel, as we roll into the 25-26 IRL football season. And we're playing Hers United. We had a nice wee 3-1 win yesterday, and yeah, the team's doing alright. Van der Zee's been a bit of the hero this year. Lira has found his shooting boots, which is lovely. Correa loves a red card. I think that's his second red card of the season. I blame his lack of pace, if I'm honest. But yeah, it's been really fun this year. We've not quite, we were projected to win the league, it was baffling at the time because I didn't feel we were that strong, but it's because of the ratings of the players we've got, I suppose. But we've not been able to really unlock that best 11 yet. But we made some mid-season moves, and we've got 2 new faces into the squad. Another defender at centre-back, which just helps with the rotation a little bit. And we've got a CM, a centre midfielder who can actually defend, who can actually tackle. So I'm hoping with Escalante, who had a very good debut, it must be said, on the game there. I think he got an assist and stuff. He played in this game, didn't he? Yeah, this might just be us. We might just have found, yeah, there he is there. 7.4 rated. Got a wee assist in the game as well. And who did he assist? Can we just see it maybe? He assisted Lira for the second goal. So let's watch that one. And I know you guys that have all got players in the squad love watching for the lineups coming out, checking if your player's playing. I get so many messages from people after the game has went saying, oh, this guy's done better, or really glad to see this guy put a shift in, or it's been some buzz quietly in the FC BarcaLomond community here. Nice little ball through there from Escalante. And I say Lira has found his shooting boots. So we're playing Hers United, we've played Club 86, and we've got some more pivotal games just around the corner. So we really want to cut off the bottom of the league here, and we want to try and see how close to the top end can we still get. So we've still got all these teams to play, so we've all got the chance to stick some points off them. And if we don't, drop the ball on some of these other matches, we might make the ground up that we lost with some narrow results elsewhere, Hey mate, made a few changes since last week. Could you have a look? Yeah, let's do it. Right, okay, so let's go into some Sorare stuff. We had James J up first and foremost, and what I'll do is I'll just put you, Aiden Smith, in next, just so I know what we're doing after we look at James Johnson. So James is an FC BarcaLomond season ticket holder. He pays his £1 a week, £4 a month to support the channel, and then it's anything goes tonight. And James Johnson wants to have a look at the gallery. Looking at rare under 23 for next season. Hope you like the pickups so far. So let's have a wee peek at see what James J123 has been up to. Now I can see the top. I can see what he's been up to recently. The recently acquired players special edition. Oh, by the way, this is a man after my own heart. Special edition Saka, rookie, Bendegren, is that what we're going to call it? Rookie, is that what we're going to call it? Moliero, rookie, is that what we're going to call it? Wirtz, as well as Lennon Miller, Casper Jander, is probably his first card as well. The rookie club that is Nordisland are featuring here as well. Inacio, is Inacio still under 23? That is wild. And then, yeah, it goes a bit deeper further back here about a month ago, but I think it's, yeah, from this way onwards, we've got Moukoko moving to Copenhagen. We've got Doku, which is a lovely priced card at the moment. Paul Wanner, I'm not too sure what he has next season. THB, I love. Diarra's just made a transfer to Sunderland. Big JD could be coming back from the Blue Cross Abyss. Some really nice moves here. It's this kind of little clutch, but like Saka, Negren, and Wirtz, Molero as well could be fine, but I don't think it'll be on the level of these guys. Like, that's your team, you know, and then it's like who's the goalkeeper and who is the defender. So let's just have a look at under 23 as a filter. Love how you've been picking up Tangvik, of course, under 23 goalkeeper at Rosenborg. The Salzburg guys have got an interesting calendar, which won't help you when we get to the winter, but it'll help you early season, certainly. Same as the rest of the Scandi boys you've got here. Tizolis, I don't think he's going to move. Stoikers doesn't seem to have many links. Tillman has just had a great move, potentially. Oh, Elise is top tier also. So yeah, especially if it's SO7, under 23. I don't see a goalkeeper here beyond Tangvik. I'm not too... Again, under 23 goalkeeper is a kind of low bar. You don't need the Courtois level guy. But I only see Tangvik. Robin Rofs I've maybe overlooked there. Apologies. Let's filter by goalkeeper. But yeah, with it being SO7, like, I really like what you could have as a top team here. I think your goalkeeper is just a bit dicey. For just being like plug and play reliable. But in defence, like THB, let's see where he ends up. Inacio, let's just see where he ends up, but more than likely a decent situation. Flamengo should be high quality, shouldn't he? Hogsberg seems to be a prodigy. Maybe a transfer could nullify him a little bit. But yeah, defence is missing like that Wirtz Saka level guy. I expect Negren to be Jota level. Midfield, yeah, Kjærgaard, Wanner, let's see where they go. But there's top quality here. I think Lennon Miller's got a solid transfer in the making. Olise. Again, a lot of these guys, you just don't know where they might end up. There's a lot of moves potentially here, I think, with everyone else. But that known element, like Wirtz is done, Saka's not going anywhere, and Olise and Tillman, even that quadrant, that quartet, that's it for SO7. That's beautiful. Like, who knows how many midfielders you'll need, but you won't need more than 4. You know, so Team 1, options, fixture availability, 2 in the Prem, 2 in the Bunde. Really like how that sits at the moment. And then you've got the rest around that, obviously. I'm just focusing on the main Team 1 level guys, you know. Up front, Doku can be that guy. I expect Negren to be that guy. Stoikers and Tizolis have shown that they can be that guy in periods of the season, certainly. And we've all got high hopes for Moukoko and Molero making their transfers this summer. So this is quite fine as well. A bit budget overall, which I don't mind, you know. Is this the guy that's exploded this summer? There's some under 19 Dutch guy that everyone's after. Is it this guy? Because that could be cool. You know, that could be a nice, shrewd, little, cheap little guy you've got picked up there. Where's John Duran heading to again? I've forgotten. But yeah, at least he'll be playing. And I say the forwards will probably be fine, you know, for the most part. But compared to that midfield, the midfield quality is the you know, the main strength that you've got here. So I think you maybe want to take a wee pause and see what the formation is going to be for SO7, because I think that'll inform you a bit better for, like, if you can get away with playing 1 striker, 3 mids, 2 defenders, if you can do something like that, your strikers are probably A-okay, but you need better defence in, and that's kind of easier to get. If you can't go 3 in a position and it is like strictly the 2-2-2-2 thing, you definitely need a defender in here, and I would say a forward. If you need to play two of them, I think you want someone else just for certainty. The guys you've got here will probably be fine to do double forward, but I just worry that Doku's got pep roulette. Moukoko, although has the pedigree, the prestige, burst onto the scene at a really young age, broke all sorts of records as a 15-year-old at youth internationals and youth German level and all the rest of it, he's had a lot of injuries. It's not worked out for him in Nice, and there's actually speculation that he's way older than what he is, so you can't bank on him, sadly, is what I'm kind of getting to there. Molero should do good, but can he make the step up? We don't know. So yeah, with forwards, I think Negren is like a banker, and I think Stoikers and Tizolis you can roll with most of the time, be quite comfortable. They don't rip all the time, all season long, but they do like rip often enough, so what's that? There's like three reliable enough forwards here, I would say, between Negren, Tizolis and Stoikers, where you could just roll through the calendar and go that weekend and say you had to play these guys. You could probably, it's Keys Smith is that guy. So let me open a tab and we'll go and have a wee peek at him. So I'm sure he must have cards, surely. If he has a cool rookie, he's probably not going to be that great SO5 wise this season, is he? If he moves to Barca or PSG or whoever else has been linked to him, I'm not sure. Yeah, he's not cheap, is he? Not been particularly great either, but I guess like the AA is wild for how young he is. He's doing stuff in every match. He's been effective, and he's a mid card as well. I thought he was a forward. I'm looking to dive into under 23 SR this season. Jerm, what do you think is a good price for a starting keeper? Ooh, mate, I am so disconnected from super rare pricing. Because the main thing, let me catch up with the chat. I'll pick up with this, Jerm, if you give me a second, and then I'll circle back to what we're chatting about with James J here. But let me just catch up with the chat. My boy Gunn is learning a lot from Pasquier. Had a good mentor, love that. Tillman move will be bad for Sorare? No. I don't think so. Do not think so at all. I think you need to remember, like, Sorare is very much it's a styles makes fights, to use a boxing expression, type situation. And Tillman going to the Bundesliga, which is a high octane league, high turnover of possession, front foot focused, playing under a Dutch manager in Ten Hag, who wants to play the total football Ajax stuff with a team like Leverkusen, the way it's been built. I don't see it at all. If he's losing set pieces and that kind of thing, like, sure, I get your statement there. I can go along with it on that front, because I don't think he'll be getting that over while Grimaldo's still in the building, Xhaka's leaving. Maybe it could be. I was actually thinking about buying a Palacios the other day, if Xhaka's leaving, but I don't think it's bad for Tillman. I don't think it's a bad move at all. Does it make him better? It's hard. It is hard for him to be better than what his peak was at PSV. Again, I go along with that, if that's what your statement is entirely, of course. But I don't think it's a bad move. I don't think I would be negged out about having a Tillman. Hey mate, can you do a review? Your name is your name is quite big. Tyman Ravenswell. No problem at all, mate. But if you want your gallery reviewed or any of this kind of stuff, it's for the season ticket holders here on the channel. There's I've not actually put it in the chat, but it's in the description of the video. I'll put it in the chat just now. But if you want to become a channel member, it's £1 a week, £4 a month, and whatever your currency is. And it's all done through Google Play, Apple Play, however you pay for stuff on your phone. Goes directly to supporting the channel here, gets you a season ticket. We do lots of member content around this type of stuff, essentially. And yeah, once you click the button, YouTube will explain it all to you. It's easy peasy. There is 2 options to donate. The donations, there's no perks. That's just for the folk that want to donate to the channel and they don't care about gallery reviews and MFL clubs and all that caper. Got a little Sorare notification on my phone here. It's a basketball one. I've not had one of them in a while. Just thinking, what the hell is that? Which do you prefer? I only play Sorare. How much budget do you need? Pantep for MFL. I think like what I see on the beginner stuff is like your club is like $80, and although you're going to loan a lot of people in, you don't need to buy everyone. I personally enjoyed buying 3, 4, 5 players, and I targeted ones that were in key positions that were better than what I could loan in, or if they were players I couldn't loan in, if that makes sense, down to availability, like a striker, a goalkeeper, whatever. And for that, I reckon to do that and have a good time, at Spark it's a bit cheaper now, but easily I'd say $120, $130, you're up and running. And then yeah, you're off to the races. You really don't need to do much after that, especially if you buy guys young enough. If you don't buy 35-year-olds, you'll get a good turnout of your starting block if you do it that way. Tillman would have been the best player on the platform next season. Yeah, well, that's that fair statement. Yeah, being at PSV gives him that potential. Leverkusen, that's not probably the case. But yeah, so Jerem was asking about super rare keepers. I just want to have a peek at this, right? Because I'm, like I say, rather disconnected from the market. But if we go to all super rare goalkeepers, because the number one thing with super rare pricing is supply and demand, is availability on the market. Why is there not a U23 filter here? Oh, there it's there, right at the bottom. Popular player is the thing here, so you're not going to be playing list price for any of these characters, really, are you? For the most part, it's all down to multiples. And again, I think you're kind of after. So my normal strategy with super rare, in the most part, when I was kind of operating at this level a little bit more, was going after the bots and just trying to see like trash and treasure. Just try and like put 5 guys together, do a trade, get a guy in that had been botted away or whatever. But with super rare in particular, I'd be more interested in the Nanzo types. Let's see the individual accounts, the player accounts, the whale accounts, whatever, that are shedding. I think these are the places I would be going in opening dialogue with and trying to get the deals done with, because cards on sale. These are the guys that are incentivized to do a deal, especially if you've got cash. Cash is king in this sort of marketplace for super rares at the moment. And yeah, I kind of really can't say too much beyond that. Jerem, I see you've not got your season tickets. It makes it really hard to go right into the weeds or whatever, but it did interest me because I don't do super rare that often in terms of the marketplace for myself personally, or even in the member stuff overall these days. But this is the sort of place I would be shopping if I was looking for anything like this. I'd be looking for the bigger accounts that are downsizing, that are shedding, and try and get those moves, because the trader accounts, the bots, the the Pavels, the Basils, all these types of folk, we're probably better just, I don't know why I left that market page, sorry. They're the ones to do business with, I think, at the moment. Instant buy on the market, again, like you're not got that available to you now. If you have market credits, that might be an option when the new season cards come out. It's maybe something to think about. But again, like super rare, you never know when they're 23s, because will they actually have a premium at super rare? Because there's, so just that, Jeremy, that's all I can kind of come up with for you. Sorry, mate. Okay, and then so with Jerm, that's the way I'm kind of looking at it, is that we need to know the formations a little bit more. But I think for where you're at the moment, as long as you can play 3 midfielders, I think you've got one like D1 podium capable kind of outfit ready to rumble. You don't need to play 3 mids, of course, but you might want that. Saka could be at home to bottom of the table. Wirtz could be the same. Olise is just fire. You could even put Tillman into that conversation if, again, they're playing like a team where there's going to be lots of goals or whatever. Because again, like Tillman, I don't see him slowing down that much. Like the hundreds probably get. If you think about what's that analogy people always talk about with poppies, like the whole poppies all get cut, so all the poppies are the same. Tillman's scores probably get that poppy cutter treatment, where the 100s, the 98s, they probably just get chopped off. But the 76s, the 75s. Is there even any 80s? Yeah, a wee 88 might creep in, a wee 82. But yeah, I think those like upper end scores just get chopped down or thinned out at the very least. So I can get that, but it'll still be good, man. ultimately. And there's plenty more guys here who will be viable, will be good. And then behind that, and the level of quality in midfield is great. And I think we need to know if we can get that to carry the lineup, the strategy. Because ideally you want to scatter these forwards across 2 teams. And depends on the restrictions, the size of it or whatever. Like, with Pep Roulette on Doku, Moukoko, Duran are not super reliable overall, I would say. Even the Salzburg guys can be a pain in the backside. There's maybe a forward missing here if we can't play single forward. If you can play single forward, I think you'll be alright just to roll with it, try and win some guys and take it from there. Because forwards can be a problem. There's always opportunity in the market for ones that move. And I think defence is the one area where I look at that and think, if you've not got that guy that's just going to hammer. And I'm just trying to think of examples that aren't players I've got, but I'm kind of drawing a blank at the moment. Can we look at the scout tab? Would this help us? Starters, clear filters, advanced view. There's no under 23 category here. Filter. Tournament. Nope. Position. We can do age. I see that. Yeah, we just need to do age. And then, let's filter defense. Yeah, and Chappie's a good kind of picture there. Guys like him, Smets, Esteve, wow, just by you, mate, well done. Alex Freeman getting up there, Jonosuke Suzuki getting up there as well. This guy for Kortrijk looks like he really spiked hard at the end of the season there. What's his deal? 22-year-old midfielder. Where did it? I just seen midfielder somewhere. No, I'm tripping. Ignore me. That's weird. And Amura, that's funny to see. On his way to Celtic now. Feels that move will be confirmed in the next day or so. This Reed guy's getting a lot of good press right now. But yeah, some of these guys that just smash, like whoever this guy is for Liège, if he can keep that up, he's onto a good one. Flamengo can get there as well, but like you can see, he's not a one-man army. Inacio can get there as well, but it's maybe transfer sensitive. I don't know if he's been guaranteed to stay this window or not. Nuno Mendes, that's the sort of guy we need in our life, isn't it, in defence? Barco apparently staying at Strasbourg. I think that'll be a great move for him. SO5 wise, Pacho, Livramento, very good cards as well. It's just, some of that's a little bit of that. Maybe one or two of those guys in defence. And I say a forward is always great to add in. But I think, no, not that button, this button. I think forwards, let's have a wee peek at manager sales forwards and we'll move on to Aiden's. But I think for under 23 forwards, like, you can be quite creative with market moves. I think when we were on live the other day, I was quite tempted by one or two. Waldemard's price should be crashing, man, going to Bayern to sit on the bench. Tresoldi, that is pretty wild, by the way. He's just signed for Bruges. I did win one this year. I wish I kept. I really wish I kept it. I don't think it was neon. Yeah. I might buy that, by the way. Nah, I'm not going to. One use can get it if you want it. But Tresoldi to Bruges for 15 quid, that'll be wild, I think. You've got Tizolis as well. That feels like a bit of a rookie card as well. It's really so tempting to buy a rookie like that, man. Oh, it's so tempting. Oh, it's so tempting. It's so tempting. It's so tempting. If I'm thinking about it in 10 minutes, I'll come back. It's probably be gone, but that's a great shout, I think, especially for some of those other cards you've got there. A lot of Belgian presence already. Really, really cheap price, especially when you compare it to some of these other guys. Like Nusa's fine, but he's double. You know what I mean? That the pricing on Tresoldi is wild. Ekitike, I don't mind at 46 as well, but he is going to be moving. If he moves to Arsenal, Ekitike is going to be wild. I'll say that. Works forward. Sesko. Look at the price of them, but Samu as well. Under 23 just adds another level of premium. I do like Morgan Rogers. That Tresoldi just looks so out of sync with the rest of the market here. Is he not under 23 anymore? No, it can't be. He's super. Nah, he's still under 23. Barcola's not bad at 65 if you can take the rotation pain. But I think for what we're talking about, James J, that's not really what you're after at this point in time. You've got those guys, you know. I'd love to talk about Asan Dial, but he's done his ACL, so he'll be out for a fair bit. Taki Kubo at 19 quid, he is moving. I don't see any world where he is still at Sociedad after the transfer window. It's all about where he goes, but he'll quickly. Is he still U23 next year? I think he probably is, isn't he? And yeah, if he makes a good move, that will look quite good for him quite easily. Savio, nice. Jumped up in price since last time I looked at him. There's Mukoko. Fatty as well. Fatty's made a fun move to Monaco. It's just so injury prone, but it's hard to get behind him. Abraham Maza, forward card. He's now moved to Leverkusen. He could be interesting, but big step up. Anthony Gordon at 22 quid. Is he losing you 23 maybe? Yeah, I don't want to do that. I hate when you change the screens on Sorare sometimes. Yeah, you lose all your blooming filters. It's just annoying. There we go. I'm getting it. I'm getting that Tresoldi rookie. I can't help myself. I love a rookie. Pocket money sitting there. Why not? Beerif again. Like Ndoye, by the way. If Ndoye completes his move to Napoli, like I already said it, he could be he could be wild at Napoli. Like Bologna is a good team. He's done okay there, as you can see, but he is sincerely a very high quality footballer. Very high quality, high work rate, great technique, great energy. And under Antonio Conte, we've done it. Under Antonio Conte, I think if that move gets done, like I'm very interested in a Dan Ndoye. I'm getting actually quite striker happy these days. I maybe need to calm down with that, but the Tresoldi just felt too good to turn down there. Is that we under 23 play? Even just as a flip, I don't mind selling him later. We got him that cheap. Oh, it's not really a Negren rookie we've seen earlier. Here's a Negren rookie, which again, the price of him is, I think, is pretty decent. Miguel Rodriguez, this guy was amazing at moments for Utrecht. They've signed him permanently now. I think they're playing Conference League this season. Former Celta Vigo kid, 24 quid for him. And yeah, like honestly, I think like Tresoldi's such a great shout. There's still ones there at £16. I paid $15.80, so it's basically the same price. And Evan Ferguson 75. Like, nah, I don't think so. Disjoined Llama. Disjoined Llama saying he reckons Ndoye could be Ngong. Ngong is not Ndoye. Like, I didn't get that Ngong move when it happened. Like, Verona have just got like this ability to sell guys, and some of them aren't that good for money. You know, they've sold some guys that are good for money, but they've sold some real dross. So yeah, Ngong is. I didn't get that when it happened anyway. But yeah, I suppose it's a good comp because similar profile and whatever. But Ndoye was pivotal in Bologna winning the cup, finishing in the Champions League. You know, and he's been good for Switzerland as well. Ndoye's just way more advanced than Ngong personally. And by the way, Tillman forward card could be a thing. Aiden Smith, what were we chatting about? My man, Aiden Smith. Hey mate, made a few changes since last week. Any chance you could have a look at a midfielder? Yeah, sure. What kind of midfielder are we looking at, Aiden? Got a wee Jota, a wee Verratti. Ronald Araujo, great pickup. Lukaku, great pickup. Is that the kind of moves we're chatting about here? Seen De Kuiper's been linked with Brighton. That could be wild. Now that we don't have Sorare data, any good site to check? Starting 11, it's all about Predictorfy. So predictorfy.com. If you get a membership here, use code QuinnyHarry, all one word. And the basket or at checkout or something, and this has got all the stuff that you want when they come in from the experts and all that. All the projected teams are here. Predictorfy, just as you see it there on the middle of the page, .com. Use code QuinnyHarry if you sign up to any packages or anything. It supports me and Harry Trades, which I'm sure we're all big fans of over here. But yeah, otherwise I'm not seeing any other alternatives coming around. Maybe one will develop, but I'm not really seeing one just yet. So yeah, I really like the Araujo. I really like the Lukaku. If that's what we're kind of seeing you've brought in recently. Let's look at limiteds. Yeah, nothing at limited. And super rare, is that maybe what we're looking at? It could be, by the way. It could be. You've only got maybe. Yeah, the Kettle no Nana should be fine. Not a bad wee super rare thing you've managed to cobble together there, Aiden. But yeah, I think it's probably more the rares, and I can see why you want a mid. Getting Jota on injury discount. Verratti, I would love to buy a Verratti. He just doesn't go cheap enough, but he's not going to retire in Qatar or Dubai, wherever he's playing at the moment. You would expect he comes back to Italy at some point, just because that's what he does. That's what Italians do, isn't it? Go play for one of the big teams. He's not even played in Italy, top flight yet, you know. Left Pescara as they got promoted to Serie A to go to PSG. But yeah, I'm guessing with Araujo and Lukaku being the main guys here, we're looking at champ mids. So let's just hit this little... Oh, we've got some filters here. Qatar, best rewards, free, champ SR. Yeah, okay. So let's just do champ on this filter. And we're after a midfielder. So what's the standard that we've got already? We want someone... We've got two mids. We've got Rabiot and Tchouameni. Both pretty good guys, by the way, but not exciting. You know, not exciting guys. So we're looking at either double striker or double defence. I like the strikers, by the way. Endrick, you'll probably know when he's playing, and they'll probably more the second half of the season rather than the first half. But the other four guys, ready to roll. Let's see what happens with Anthony, of course, actually, as I say that. In defence, I really like Ronald Araujo. Who knows about Timber? Barco's cool, Klaus is cool. Yeah, need to watch out what happens with this Anthony Lopez. Penders, we don't know where he's really ending up. And Van der Veer, I think is safe, but we don't know that. You said you need a mid, so that's what we're going to look for. I'm just kind of getting across what we've got here. So we're after a champ, Euro, rare, mid. Which is one of my favourite things to hunt for, to be honest with you. I do have my biases, Aiden, which you're probably going to be familiar with anyway. But we'll do our best. Let's take the price right down to like 02. What's 02 worth again? Let's maybe kick it up a wee bit to like 03. There we go. I'll probably do. Probably get a nice kind of appraisal. I think Scott McTominay is a really good shout. I think he'll be a good player. I think Reinders, by the way. I think Reinders. See if Reinders and Rodri are going to play side by side. Reinders has got huge potential in my book. Huge potential. But we're not really after... Bruno Guimaraes at £34 feels like a real no-brainer, to be honest. You know his situation. Brazil international as well. Champions League football this year. Amiri, don't know where he's going to end up ultimately, so maybe stay away from that just yet. But 20 quid at Mines just to play weekends, that's really good value on his current form. You've had got a wee bit of Barca. Dani Olmo fully fit and available for a full season. The one thing I love about Dani Olmo is he just does decisives. I know he's not had a great patch here, but he's had injury. Barca have been kind of evolving throughout the year. But I think Dani Olmo is a high quality midfielder shout. And Kunku could be the same depending on where he goes, but again, that's an if button a maybe. Just see both the Leipzig boys there, thought I would mention it. Again, depends on where O'Reilly goes. He could return from the dead in a big way and become a real smash piece, a real smash spot again, real smash piece. Champ rare mid. Was thinking Gavi. Let me check how much Gavi is when we see him, but or let me even just dive onto another page. Yeah, let's put in Gavi. I like the Barca shout, but I don't think Gavi's even that nailed on to play all the time. And he's at 2-2. So let's just put the same. Unless you tell me something else. Right, so I think we're back to the top, aren't we? Malero I don't think's too bad, but it's probably better as a forward rather than a... Well, yes, isn't under 23 either, isn't it not? But yeah, I think McTominay is a good shout. If we're thinking Barca, can we do team real quickly and just have a look? Barca. I guess that's team on the shirt, isn't it? That's not what we want. We want current club. Barca. Yeah, I think Dani Olmo's your better shout. Cheaper as well, and he is going to play so much more often. Like I think we have an early projection on the newspaper site. What do you think the Barca team currently sits at? Yeah, it's kind of what I think. That's like the best three. Casado and Gavi will play, will rotate, don't get me wrong, but I think Dani Olmo is too big of a player on too much money to not be in the best 11. I think Frankie de Jong has made himself that guy finally, and Pedri is Pedri, you know, so I think for the most part that will be the midfield three for Barca. So I think you want Dani Olmo over Gavi every day of the week. If that's the kind of shout. I wonder why Gavi never... Oh, price-wise. I don't know. Why did Gavi not come up on that page there? Oh, this is 0228. Oh, I think we're just 0224. Yeah. Let's just change that. Boom. So we've got the same price. I like Fermin a lot as well. The thing about Fermin is he's not really a Team 1 guy, but Fermin for Team 3, like... he's coming off the bench in every game. It doesn't matter. You do need to wait for the form to come whenever it does come, but Team 3, if you've got no other option, Fermin Lopez is a great punt all the time. Similar to Kang and whatever. It's not always going to come off, but when it does, you can rub your hands together and do a wee victory lap. I like Bruno, again, like I mentioned. So is it I guess the bar is Dani Olmo. Yeah, see, I do like McSauce, I do like Reinders. Bernie I like a lot. He's in his last season at City. The rest of the team feels so good. He could only do well with it, I would think. But again, Pep Roulette's maybe something you want to avoid. Xhaka is going... Where's Xhaka going again? He's going somewhere pretty good, actually. Like for him, like the move, I think it's going to work out quite nicely. Arsenal are looking at Casado. Wow. So Arsenal are going to sign Zubimendi, Norgard and Casado. And somebody else maybe I'm forgetting. Wow, that's wild. It feels like Fabian Ruiz has kind of quietly became the best midfielder at PS. Not the best, but like he's in the best 11. Everyone wants to talk about Vitinha and Jon Snow, but Fabian Ruiz is right there with them. It feels like if you kind of get those two, he's not a bad comp. MGW could be quality at that price depending on transfer. I think Zubimendi's got a high ceiling at Arsenal, but again, Arsenal are just a basket case in my opinion. Julian Brandt at 12 quid is wild value because he will just do this. Like, Julian Brandt will just get it. He loves an L5. Julian Brandt, he really does. You know, he will find L5s across the season. Like, you know he will. Like, he just loves an L5. He'll let you down sometimes. He'll DNP randomly. He'll get injured. But 12 quid? That's pretty good, by the way. That's pretty damn good, if you ask me. We're probably getting 2 guys if you could get him for the price of Gavi or Olmo. I think Ezekiel Palacios could be a real find. Not find, but a real... Like, if you've got a team built around Palacios, could be one of those guys where it's like, oh, if you had Palacios for that month, you were winning all the time. He's got that potential in him, and with Xhaka leaving, Wirtz leaving, if he can stay fit, that's the key thing with Palacios. He could finally hit his final form or whatever. I like Zakanya a lot, but as does he? Yeah, I suppose he does have a wee bit of that. He's maybe a bit more of an L10 guy there. He's maybe a wee bit more just consistently hit or miss. But can hit big, can hit often. Kulusevski I'm a big fan of, but new age Spurs, I'm not sure what to think of that just yet. Billy Gilmore for £2. You could do worse. Definitely not a Team 1 calibre pickup there, but Lewis Ferguson's got some very interesting transfer links. £10 could be a snip for him if he goes to the right place. Golovin I like a lot, but loves an injury. He's a £5. Zambo at £6 might be getting chucked out of Napoli, so watch out for that. But yeah, I think that's kind of where I'm at midfielder wise, buddy. Enrique loves Leroux. Yeah, like he's quietly in that team, isn't he? Nobody really... I think everyone gives him his props and his credit, but in terms of us, certainly SO5 wise, or just the you know, the state of PSG or the reasons for their success, I think he is kind of slept on overall in that kind of picture. McGinn for £3, Goretzka for £6. Wow. Paqueta for £7. Yeah, I mean, you can just get a bunch of guys like Paqueta and Goretzka and whatever. Tier 2 gold. Braze. Hey Quinny, could you give my gallery a review please? Would like to know how to improve my classic champ 7-man teams. Benny. No problem, Benny. What was your... It's been a while. Benny96, that's you. Oh, okay. Right, so 274 rares. What are we looking at? Is it champ? Let me know, Benny. I know you're comfy. But pick up the phone and tell me in the chat. What are we looking at, Benny? Wow, triple Muric. Yeah, you've got a lot of busy goalkeepers here, don't you? Pickford's probably safe. Pope, no, they've just signed Trafford. Pickford, Ramiro are definitely safe. And then you've got a bunch of guys that will probably play somewhere, you know. Comfy, champ, please. But obviously not Ipswich. We are down. Sad face, yeah. Sorry, Benny. No Ipswich guys. Yeah, but Muric like could transfer. I think that's kind of the consensus, isn't it? So yeah, a couple of keepers nailed and a bunch of probables or could be's. In defence, we're looking at Ake, looking at Upamecano. Not sure Ake will get as many minutes this year. In fact, Ait Nouri, I think is going to be a top tier defender. I think Ait Nouri could do like Cancelo numbers. Aguerd I like. Trent. It really would take a lot for Trent not to work out with Real Madrid SO5 wise, I think. Grimaldo looks quite okay where he's at the moment. But yeah, top tier defences. I think you've got enough guys there. I think you've got enough of the right guys. Ito might be coming back from injury, so he could be out of nowhere amazing for Bayern. Upamecano's there. There's also Jonathan Tass. Maybe there's a bit of competition as well, but really high quality Bayern defenders. A lot of the Chelsea guys here as well, but like I say, Aiden Smith, Cucurella, can spike. Aguerd can be okay. Same with a bunch of these other guys that will be still in champ, but Grimmy can smash. And by the way, Pinnock isn't no pushover himself. And on page 2, not much here. Some guys are fine without being spectacular. Yeah, that's kind of what we're looking at. So defences, I think again, like if you can get away with playing double defence in your top team, we're thinking about playing like Aiden and Grimaldo together or something like that. And then team 2, we're kind of looking at the likes then of Cucurella, Upamecano, maybe Willy Orban. I don't think Alba's going to get another contract at Real Madrid, so let's see if he moves on this summer or next. Gertruida is okay. Yeah, so I think if you need to go double defence, when you get to team 2, you might be like, who's actually got a good game here? Who's actually starting in a good lineup? In midfield, Rice tonight, like this whole top row, except for Zinchenko, are like the same guy in a roundabout way. Like they're going to play for their team week in, week out. Maybe Lo Celso's a bit of a mild exception there. Having exposure to set pieces and double doubles and triple triples, like AA machine midfielders, and you're kind of just crossing your fingers. He gets a wee cheeky assist, they score their goal, they get a wee last man tackle or whatever, which is quality. The next row and beneath, like there's a lot of talent here. Saul's going to leave Atletico. Andy Perea is always useful in spells. We love wee boobs here. Bischoff's moved to Bayern. Fornals, Cardoso, Sergio Gomez, good guys here, but not that top shelf obviously. And then the next couple of rows, again, it kind of goes down that kind of path, doesn't it? Of still good in some areas here. Some of them are needing some potential to be fulfilled, but they're not going to be making team 1, are they? But I think you've got enough midfielders here that even if you were to play 3 of them in one team, you've still got, even if you just took those top 3 there, you still have Enzo, Lo Celso, Elliot Anderson, and then maybe even like a Fornals or something, so you get comfortably 2+ teams of really good mids at the tip of your fingers here. Never mind some other guys. Chukwuemeka I've seen down there as well that could work out. Cardoso's gone to Atletico Madrid, that could work out very well as well. But yeah, midfield looks pretty okay, pretty well set, even in that kind of extreme circumstance. Let's see what happens with Anthony. Big fan of the rest of the forward line, to be honest with you, but I'm not too, like, you can't really nail on Take or Elizowie yet, or Sancho. Like, you're really looking at here, like Leao, Oyarzabal, Doku, Neto, Vinny. You kind of got 5 forwards here of nailed on, yeah. And against, like, if you can go single forward, that'll do you okay. If you need to play double or you want to go triple for some reason, you're really reliant on the rest of those guys being somewhere effective. Maybe Molero helps with that. Same with Nkunku. Zaragoza, by the way, you've got 2 of him. He's went to Celta Vigo and he could just be a wee mini Aspas. Really tempted. This exact Zaragoza I'm thinking about buying, so I've got a wee Bayern collection. And Rodrigo goes. If Rodrigo goes to Arsenal, he could be one of the best forwards in the game. Kulusevski, Darwin could go and be very good in Serie A. Yeah, the forwards are actually, the depth of forwards here is actually really good. I thought that top row might have told the story, but no, your depth and forward, like, yeah, some of these guys kind of aren't that great or whatever, but you've got a lot of options throughout the season here for forward. I think, yeah, you definitely don't need to think about, yeah, because even if we're being quite strict and thinking like these guys are team 1 capable and they're the only guys that will play in team 1, like the depth for team 2, 3 and 4 is there. I think circling back, I think maybe defence was the one spot where I was the most like dicey. There's enough guys there, I suppose, isn't there? Yeah, no, I think defence was quite okay. I think that midfield I was quite okay with as well. I think it's maybe goalkeeper, which is quite a boring answer, but you've got a lot of transfer bait there which could move for you. But yeah, honestly, like I actually think they're quite okay. It depends how many lineups you're trying to get out. That maybe takes another level of maths, but we need to know the formation options to really do that. So I think for where we're at now, Benny, I don't think there's anything glaringly obvious other than the goalkeepers, which again, like Petrovic moves somewhere permanently and this guy moves somewhere. You quickly go from the couple you've got nailed to double, you know, with the right move or two here or there. Could the midfield be a bit punchier? So like I say, these guys are all AA magnets. They're not really decisive monsters. Yeah, if I was to be pedantic, could we get a decisive monster? I know we've just mentioned Danny Olmo, but I'm not talking Danny Olmo specifically, but that type of guy that scores goals, gets assists, where you don't need them to have a world day of an AA game. You'll take him being jammy from the spot, from a set piece or whatever, you know. What did champ? Like Palmer works. Simon's transfer dependent, but again the price he's getting, you know, if you back the move to work out for him. Even Bruno, as much as I hate him, 130 isn't it bad for him. Again, a guy you just know commands decisives, and if they can clip that 80 as well, are just much more likely to deliver you an 80. Maybe a guy like that, Elise, you know, but you're trying to get these guys before they get to that price, or try and catch one of them undervalued in the market. I quite like Bruno for that, but I don't think he's really got. Yeah, he didn't have any massive scores this season, but Bruno can do that kind of thing. He's a bit more decisive. Gets AA, as we know. But something like that, you know, it's a bit more offensive. Bernie, I love for decisives. Get decent AA at the best of times. He's getting older, depreciating returns and all that, but like, yeah, Bernie can rip. I like Bernie. A wee bit more dynamic, you know, like an attacking based player. Just so then you like, because the benefit you get with that is if like, you know they're playing somebody they should be doing well against for goals, that just becomes a much easier option to select rather than trying to work out who's going to get more AA, Enzo or Declan Rice. You know, like that's a really tough thing to call every week. But if you know, like, oh, Wirtz is at home to so and so or whatever, then that's an easy take. Oh, Foden's quite cheap, by the way. I need a wee Foden in my life soon. Need one of those treble winning ones, but yeah, this one. Wee bit out of range for me just yet, but not U23 anymore, so finally Foden might become affordable for me. So maybe two teams you think, third filled. Yeah, I think that's where you are. If you're asking for like a depth read, we need to see the formation, Benny, but I think, yeah, you'll do two teams quite comfortably. Yeah, defence is good enough. Yeah, I think you'll do two teams quite comfortably. And if we have a look at the goalkeepers again, because I know I was being a wee bit more pessimistic on the goalkeeper thing. So now that we're kind of, depends on Trent for sure. I kind of forgot you had Trent earlier, to be honest, but yeah. So yeah, but the likes of Pickford, Ramiro, even as the two, yeah, like I think you've got two teams nailed. Your keepers will probably fall the right way. You'll get enough of them playing somehow, somewhere. Between these three guys at Chelsea, Petrovic, Sanchez and Jorgensen, I'm sure you'll get one of them playing, if not two, ideally three. Pope, you hope moves on. Van der Vaart, we hope, is the second coming this year, finally. But yeah, I think you're well covered for the two keepers you've got. You'll have lots of nice options. You'll be able to pick optimal lineups. If Muric gets a transfer, obviously you're mad quids in as well with having free copies of him. But yeah, if you get other goalkeepers, it's just maybe adding another one of every position in. Not every position. I think your forward depth again, Benny. I'm reminding myself the forward depth was really good. And defence is one of those ones where you kind of need to read the season. Who's actually playing? Who's actually playing well? Who's got a good defence this year? Who's got a good run of fixtures? and mids are more for me the guys you can kind of forecast. Like, you know who the main midfielders are in a lot of teams, and the roles that they play are very valuable. SO5 wise, predominantly set piece takers, metronomes that get on the ball, guys that win the ball back all the time, turnover play, start counter attacks, whatever. So yeah. Todor, let's have a wee peek. Gully, good to see you, my man. Right, Todor. Let's have a peek. Right, so super rare. Let's look at what you've got for non-champ. Do I need to open up the position filter? Yeah, so we've got 11, 16, 24. 4 keepers. One that plays for sure, not too sure about the other 3. Defence. Taylor's went Blue Cross now. So yeah, you've got like a team here, I think, in the making, don't we? Yeah, a team with some depth. A nice team, by the way. But as I'm looking at this, I'm thinking SO5. If we look at this again, SO7, imagine you need 2 defenders. I don't know this Spyich guy. He doesn't play all the time. He plays in China, yeah. Mellow. Ralston's are, yeah, so I think for SO7 this might be cooked unless you can play 1 defender. Cherny's not in the region anymore. Let's see where Cherny ends up. Yeah, I think this might be. Oh, so you've got to mix with these guys. So you've got Morata. Is he in Turkey or something at the moment? Not sure where Perisic is going, but is it Barca that want him? Solomon's getting into the Prem. Huang in the bum. Yeah, so between your non-champ guys, they might just about meld together. I think the first thing I'm thinking when I'm seeing this, let's see what you've actually got for champ. We've got 3 goalkeepers, 7 defenders. Okay, let's have a wee peek at the build. Blaswich is, yeah, not worth looking at. Petrovic we're sensitive to. Malba, pardon me, Onana we're sensitive to. Defence is really good. You would do well in SO7 with that defence to choose from. Don't know the situation with 1 or 2 of these. Like, Ruiz is brilliant. Kamada can be fine, but didn't play all the time last season. And with their increased fixture load, you would expect that to be choppy. Kostic, don't know if he'll be champ or not. Sunset, O'Reilly, Samardzic. It's maybe just about a midfield here. But I think you're maxing out defence the way I've seen it so far. And then forwards are good, by the way. Like Vlahovic, let's see where him and Sancho end up. But Pedro Neto, Cunha, Garnacho should be fine. Tammy Abraham, I think I heard somebody say he's went somewhere today. So I think like champ, you probably just about getting a good SO7 kind of core here to play one lineup. But the non-champ stuff, Todor, it's up to you how you want to roll with it. You know, you can go all-star and try and win anything and everything and anything anyway, and use your excess champ guys to help round off the edges and help it be more viable. But I think if you're going to stay in super rare, I would probably try and trade in to champ from non-champ. Tammy to Besiktas. There is a De Bruyne as well. Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, so I'd maybe try and trade your non-champ into champ as much as possible. It feels like goalkeepers is a real kind of sticking point here. So if we could get like a high quality goalkeeper in for like the better I don't know, let's just say like one or like the Carter Vickers or something like that. Like a real good keeper, like a nailed number one, not one that people hate, not one that's a budget guy, not one that's 35. You know, like a real keeper, because you do have good assets in that region that a bot will deal with, I would imagine. Not to deal with them with supers in a while, but I think your champ thing is worth building upon. I don't think building upon the non-champ stuff is going to serve you well at this point, especially with being SO7. And yeah, that's what I think for super rare. And like you say, you do have a big gallery, so I'm doing my best to do this as well as I possibly can. 193 rares, and I think again what we'll glance at here is champ and non-champ. And so contender, we've got huge gallery, 14 goalkeepers. Schmeichel's there. Yeah, we've got everything and anything here, don't we? And challenger, we've got not as many cards, and some of them are kind of migration pieces, I guess, aren't they? Some of them have already moved back into champ, like Dzeko to Fiorentina. Feels like a football shirt I want to buy. Is a purple Fiorentina top with Dzeko on the back. I've got a feeling he could be brilliant there, by the way. Fiorentina loves strikers, and Dzeko is a striker that wants to be loved in that sense. You know, I can see this working out really well in a big way. But yeah, maybe not as much in this region. Maybe just kind of settle in with these guys. For what it's worth. And with champ, what are we cooking with coming into classic? We've got Ederson we can rely upon, Flecken, Milinkovic, Savic, maybe makes a transfer, I don't know. And Kelleher we can rely upon. Chesney, I wouldn't hold your breath on either. So yeah, between Kelleher, Ederson, Flecken, I think it's safe to say right now there's 3. I would add Vanya in as 4, right? But let's see how it shakes out for him. And then maybe Sigris plays, maybe Joan Garcia plays. If Joan Garcia doesn't, maybe it's Chesney, maybe it's Ter Stegen. There's a kind of three-way thing on the go there. But 4 goalkeepers, I think, come day one, we can use. Alongside that defence of Poro, double Milinkovic here. They're kind of what's going on in defence. Kerkez has made a good move. He moves up. Belanova should be better than what he was. Defence is a bit flimsy. I think for the amount of goalkeepers we've got, unless we can get away with single and double defence across a few lineups, your defence will hurt you. In midfield, who knows what happens with Kostic again. If you guys know something, feel free to tell me, by the way. Same with O'Reilly. This bottom row isn't really worth considering. So for midfield, for SO7 with 4 goalkeepers, your midfield is probably not quite going to stretch. I love that you've won a Foden. Midfield feels a bit thin. And then your strikers here, you've got a lot of transfer business on the go here. Like Saganikov probably leaves. Schick, who knows. Semenyo, Majovski, who knows. Kyogo, the same. Some of these guys just aren't that great. Like Zaniolo and Edward. Sadly, Xerxes been pretty mince as well. So yeah, mate, I think like your champ rare feels like the weakest. I've not went right through. The contender one feels pretty strong. And then the challenger one was just kind of bits and bobs, wasn't it? I think you've got a good SO5 build here, but I think for SO7 on 4 goalkeepers that you've got, I think it's just thin. Just needs more. Needs like another 2 guys in every spot. Defence, midfield, forward. My biggest problem I have is I want to shrink the gallery and make super rare stronger. Wow. Well, that's a great way of doing that, mate, is if you're just going after super rare, like these champ rares, there's less of them. Your contender stuff is stronger anyway. If you wanted to just play non-champ rare, cashing these guys in will be quite liquid and probably amongst the most valuable kind of 2 market assets that you could feasibly turn around. Like for SO7, you've definitely got like 2 or 3 really strong teams here, so I'm not saying it's rubbish. You've got great players. You could make at least 2 like really good teams, I think, without question. But I think team 3, and eventually once you move into in season, you're then taking a classic goalkeeper or a classic stud out of this. It'll go thin as it sits at the moment once we get past team 2 quite noticeably. So if we actively want to strengthen, like super rare is a kind of buyer's market at the moment. It's not a move I openly condone, by the way. But again, like really, there's no right or wrong. It depends on the play. We need to see the prize pool still. SO7 might make super rare more exciting. It might make it more, I don't know. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. Far be it from me to tell you what to do. And I would say, but you're not going to get as much for your contender stuff, and that's pretty strong, and that will be strong next year. Celtic cards and all that will still smash, and in the competition you're going to play them in, they're not really any worse off this season than they were last. If anything, they're maybe better, because they can now win Dutch cards and Belgian cards, which they couldn't, or maybe not Dutch and Belgian, like who knows, but they're winning more than what they could win last season in terms of scope of league, because of the lack of regions, essentially, is how I'm thinking about it until further details. So yeah, that's kind of working and will be working next year. Whereas this, if you did want to roll if you want to consolidate, shrink the gallery, I would maybe move your non-champ super rares and your champ rares, if that makes sense. Is Jaros a good pick? I've got no idea, mate. His price is spiked. Where's he went? Ajax. Who's his cards for? Liverpool. Interesting. Under 23 goalkeepers we were chatting about earlier. Love guys like this that have not got many cards, but you love them because their price can move nicely. No bots either, so you're dealing with the demanding market, as it were. Wasn't doing cleaning for a long time, and I have a big pile of everything. Yeah. So that's kind of what because I think like your contender super rare stuff, like yeah, you can do the non-champ competitions of whatever will be there, but like your champ supers were way better, and the rares kind of the opposite. And I think like if you liquidated the non-champ rares, I don't think you would be able to significantly improve, upgrade champ rare or champ super. So I think they're probably good as a unit as it is anyway. Contender or non-champ rares, as I'm referring to them as. And equally, I think if you were then to sell the champ rares, I think you will be able to get good supers for that. You'll get good bang for your buck on the secondary market for champ, because there's just more in demand. And because of the change to the Celtic stuff and whatever, the all-region competition or whatever, feels like those other supers that you're not going to be using as much could also be used quite nicely as collateral to get turned into nice pieces in champ as well. If your plays is going to skyrocket, you can say that again, mate. You can say that again. And I was just sharing some love on Twitter this week for Peter Cech. So seeing a Wonder Kid Czech Republic goalkeeper, I would be tempted if I needed one, for sure. But yeah, Todor, I think that's my view on what I see here. I can totally get behind making your champ thing more competitive. I think it is competitive for one or two lineups, just to reiterate. I don't think it's a bad build at all, far from it. But if it's depth, if it's quality, if we're looking to consolidate, shrink a little bit, reinforce your stated ambition of super rare, I think that's the way you want to go, is champ super rare. And in particular, yeah, like you'll get more money for your champ rares to blah blah blah. Yeah. Awesome possum. I've had a wee bit of joy this game week, or a wee bit of roller coaster. We had the Saka double decisive. You'll love to see it. Didn't quite get there with this team, sadly. 2 out of 2 points off a reward. Caicedo got a wee cheeky decisive. So did Paulinho, who was my captain. Tani held on to that clean sheet. We're getting 26. We're getting back into D1, which is the main thing. And we'll probably pick up a tier 5. I would probably rather the essence, to be honest with you. So if we get pipped into 35th, we'll get the last tier 5. So you know we'll be the crappiest one to give out. And then the All-Star stuff, yeah, didn't do that great, did they? But Hey ho, it is what it is. I've had a lot of fun with you guys. I've probably had some MFL matches. Oh, we've got the foundation playing in 20 minutes. I'm tempted to maybe watch that with you guys, because that is your team. We've played our game today for the academy. Let's stick this one for a minute. So this is my academy team. This is the one at the lowest level of the game that I've just put all my like first owner guys that I loaned out last year and got some money for. But I thought I want to have an academy team. I want to try and focus the progression, make sure the good players play at the right points and get all the match XP they can get, and you know, just try and add a new economic dimension into my gameplay here. And it's too strong for the league it's in, and yeah, we're having fun with watching it fly away anyway. We've got a little patch of fixtures in the season right now where we've got like over 6 games we play the bottom 4 lineups, so we should be scoring lots of goals. And one thing that we've been chatting about on MFL content that we'll probably do a wee video on in the coming days once we've had a few more matches is match XP is what you want for progression. Training is fine, training is good, training does make a difference, I'm sure it is. I've seen it for myself, but I'm getting more and more empirical evidence that match XP above all is the way to go. There's a way to get progression unlocked, certainly, anyway. Just my opinion at this point. So quite enjoy watching the guys smash, seeing what ones progress. It's been a nice kind of experiment in that regard, as well as just a little bit of wholehearted fun. Everyone loves playing a game where they just smash it sometimes. It does get boring if it happens all the time, but you know, once in a while it's alright to smash everything, isn't it? And complete all the levels, beat the boss, whatever you're thinking about. And that's kind of where I'm at. No, we're not going to watch extended highlights for this, sorry. Oh, there's a goal. I just wanted to kick it on a wee bit because I changed the highlight mode. But we've got Morel up front again, by the way. Nafisatu, straight out the packet. Steffens, the man. Fleming, the legend. Oh! Just need to find the myth now in the team, don't we? Hey, love it. Maybe kick this on a wee bit. There's an RB goal. Yeah, maybe a wee bit tempted. We'll see, we'll see. There's a bunches here. If we get a few more likes, guys, we need to get the fans into the stadium. If we get a few more likes, let's see. Oh, I missed a goal there. Looking at the count we've got already. Let's see if we get to 18. If we can get to 18 likes. Kubo, lovely ball there. Fleming. We'll stay on and we'll watch the foundation game. 18 likes, guys. Come on, you can do it. It'll be dinner time in Casa de Quinn for me. Oh, that was one thing I was thinking about doing. It's a wee bit late. What do you think? I was going to pop a wee video live, a wee cheeky Sorare video for when we're done this. Oh, we conceded a goal. No! We never concede goals in this team. How did that happen? Who's to blame? Quintana stepping into midfield, dwelling on the ball, gets his pocket picked, and oh, they slice us open. Through the gap that Quintana left. Didier off the post. Simpson doesn't panic with the tap in there. Quintana, I'm looking at you, mate. Errol led to goal. My namesake. My Costa Rican namesake. Tell you what, guys, I'm going to set this on. You can, after this match, yeah. Have we got the likes? Have we got the likes? That's probably the first thing to double check if we've got the likes. If we've got up to 18, we'll stay on for the foundation game. If not, I'll flip you over to a wee video once we are done with the show tonight. I've had a lot of fun with the members. Thanks to everyone that has caught us and tuned in. We'll give it to the end of the match, which is not a minute or two away. Can we get to the 18? Joe Pinto, good to see you. Love it, guys. Thanks to everyone that's tuned in tonight. Managed to get there just 3-1, so I'm just programming this video. Boom. Awesome. And then I think when I go into this system now, I can do a wee redirect. Customization. Yep, redirect. Boom. Save. Awesome. Now when I end the stream just now, everyone, it will kick you into a wee video that I've made. So I hope you enjoy it. I tried to keep this stuff tight-lipped through the stream tonight. I didn't want to give anything away. If you're watching this after we've been live, it will be already on the channel. You can go and watch it. You maybe even watched it before catching this. But yeah, I've been up to a bunch of stuff myself, getting SO7 ready, which is what the name of the show is. And I hope you all enjoy it. Good luck to the foundation. The game kicks off in 15 minutes. If you're an MFL manager, feel free to go and check it out and watch along. And yeah, we'll be live tomorrow at 5. We've got an MFL Cup match